Hello. Okay, at the Lochgelly Raceway in Fife in Scotland. It's the 21st of March 2026. There's micro bangers and junior bangers on, as well as other formulas as well. I'm just going to concentrate on the full contact micro bangers. I think the junior bangers are, they're like semi-contact, a bit like that of the pro stocks, whereas the micro bangers are the full-on. I suppose it'll be like the national bangers with the full-on hits, full contact. So I'm going to concentrate the video on those, the micro bangers. So I came in, it's 5 o'clock and it seems quite quiet. It seems very quiet. There's not much going on, it seems a bit disappointingly quiet, so I don't know what's happening there. But I'll show you what's in the pits anyway, as far as the bangers are concerned anyway. So, like I say, this is Saturday the 21st of March 2026 here at the Lochgelly Raceway in Fife in Scotland, and there's some bangers, micro bangers and that. There's also the junior bangers as well, so, and there's other formers as well, stalkers I think. So that's like your micro bangers along here, and then there's other micro bangers further down there, micro bangers, and there's other bangers, junior productions as well on the bill. I like all that sort of stuff. So that's what the brake servo unit looks like on a car, vacuum assist. Basically you've got your master cylinder and you push the brake pedal, it pushes hydraulic fluid in through the system. This here, the brake servo unit booster, works off the vacuum created by the carburetor engine induction. So that vacuum is in controlling the diaphragm in there, so when you push the brake pedal, that vacuum is an assistant by pushing against the, it assists your braking effort really to push the fluid through the master cylinder, through the pipelines and into the slave cylinder and ultimately your wheel discs or drums. But that's what this is, a brake booster, or servo unit is another name for it. And that's where it will link up onto the brake pedal, and you've got your mechanisms there. So it's just spare parts obviously, but that's the typical sort of, for example, with a petrol engine that has a carburetor. The diesel engine or injection turbo engines will use a vacuum pump, because you don't get the same vacuum created as you do on a carburetor petrol engine. That there, that's your brake fluid reservoir. That is connected to your master cylinder. Basically, you could use that reservoir if it's a hydraulic clutch. It could also feed the clutch slave cylinder for your clutch release. But that's your braking master cylinder hydraulic fluid top up on the other end of the brake servo unit. And that bit there is where it connects up to the brake pedal in your car. So it's just basically amplifying the force that you exert on the brake pedal that's been assisted with the vacuum diaphragm in there. The vacuum's created by the engine, and that helps basically push against the hydraulic fluid through the master cylinder, through the pipelines and into your slave cylinder, which ultimately, like when that's a disc brake there, that will squeeze the calipers together to squeeze the friction pads against the disc to slow the vehicle down, change the kinetic energy into heat energy. These are junior bangers. Yep. So that's some of the junior bangers share the same cars as the micro bangers, Nissan Micras, Fiestas, and etc. This seems to be the favourite of that. Ah yes, so the netting, that means it's the junior bangers. It's got the netting on the side window and on the windscreen, whereas the micro bangers don't have any netting on them. They're full on contact, whereas the junior ones are kind of, I think, semi-contact, a bit like that of pro stocks. So that's a couple of Ford Fiestas for the micro bangers. The ones, as I say, they share the same cars for the junior bangers. That's a Nissan Micra, that one, that orange one. And that end up there, 542 is a junior banger. It's got the netting on the driver side window aperture. It's also a Nissan Micra. These cars up there are Ford Fiestas, I think they're national bangers, micro bangers. 55, the blue one, that's a national banger, full on hits. That's your full contact ones. Is that junior? 55, is it? Oh,
Some of them have got windows.
so that's got the netting on the side, so that's a junior banger. So these are some mixture of national bangers. That in there's a junior one, it's got the netting on it. This is a national banger, micro banger, it's not got the netting on it. Ford Fiesta, that is, by the way, 3-door version. So this one's getting the exhaust manifold sorted out. That's where the exhaust manifold meets up with the exhaust ports on this engine here. It's Vauxhall Corsa. So this is a 1.2 dual overhead cam, 4-cylinder, as opposed to the smaller engines. The later ones are 3-cylinder. This is still actually I think this is a 4-cylinder. You see the 4 spark plugs along the top there. It's an earlier engine, but the later ones were made at 3-cylinder. This is a 4-cylinder. That's quite nice. I like the originality, original paintwork on this. This is a national banger, micro banger. So this is what stock rods look like. This is other Formula, they're non-contact. And you've got the super stocks over there as well, a bit like that at Brisker Formula 2. This is the single seater cars. Side is stock rod, the engine. I think it's 1400cc these are, I think. So that's heat one coming out for the micro bangers. I'm going to record all this for you. that was the end of heat 1. There wasn't an awful lot in the way of damage, so I'll have a look and see what's going on in the pits anyway, but I don't think there's much damage done in that. So there's a bit of work being done on this one, on 476. This is the rear wheel. So the axle on that one's been snapped, so they're going to, I presume they're going to replace that axle. I might see a wee bit of that. I don't want to miss too many of the other races like, but see what's happening up here. Hello. Sorry to be in the videos. So I'm going to have another look at the car that's getting the axle changed. That's got the rear offside wheel that was snapped off. So I'll see how they're, no, near side wheel, sorry, the rear near side wheel. I'll see how they get on with that. I think I'll just change the whole swinging arm axle, or trailing arm, so trailing axle I think it's called. It's axle beam, it's not a multi-line suspension, it's just the axle beam suspension on the one that's, I think they'll change it. I might weld a bit on, I don't know. See how they get on with it anyway. I think they're going to be able to do a bit of welding because that's the generator for the, so I think they're going to weld the hub on it maybe. So when they're doing welding, you don't directly look at the arc because it can give you arc eye. Always wear like welding glasses, it's tinted because the light produced by the electric arc with an electric welder is really bright and it can damage the eyes, so you've got to have like welder's goggles if you're doing arc welding. So you don't look directly at that electrical flash here. So I can see it on the screen what's going on, but I wouldn't look at it directly because it blinds you. It's very bright arc flash, electrical arc welder. That generator is there to give it the electricity for the arc welder. It's not a gas welder, it's an electric arc welder. So it looks like they're actually going to weld the hub back on the axle. Rather than replace the whole axle, they're going to weld it back on, just so the wheels basically turn and something connects to the axle. I think that's what the plan is. They're going to just weld it back on. So he's just preparing the metal, cleaning it with the angle grinder before he starts welding. So you want to get clean metal surfaces if you're doing welding. So he's just preparing the metal. Like he's putting like a bar, inserting the bar in there as a means of connecting it to the axle. So the bar will go in the hub. You'll find it on the camera. The bar will go in there, connect it up to the axle on the car. And they'll just weld it up, I think that's what they do. It's a non-driving axle, it's just it's a front wheel drive car, it's a non-driving axle. So I could come back to that one later. They're just preparing it by the looks of it. They're actually starting welding it now. He's welding the bar to the hub and then that will connect up to the axle, the trailer axle. I think that's the plan, but it's best not to look at that anyway. You don't look at that directly, that arc, the electrical arc. Because as I say, it's a very bright electrical flash, it could damage your eyes, so you've got to wear like welder's goggles if you're doing welding, like electrical arc welding. I've done welding years and years ago, back in 1992 with the Tayside training services in Dundee. Shortly after I left the school. Yeah. And then memory, that was one of the things that was drummed into is that they get things like welders or archi, gas welding. You'd wear goggles anyway for any splatters of metal, because when you heat the metal it splatters if it gets that hot. But yeah, I'll come back to that. I'll have a look at that later. Just having a wee look up here, just seeing some of the repairs that have been done to the micro bangers and also the junior bangers as well. They too are being fixed in the bits. So this one's getting a new McPherson strut. So it's a suspension McPherson strut that's getting replaced on this one. Pinch bolt going in, and McPherson strut top mounts will be going in soon. So that was the McPherson strut getting put on that one, anti-roll bar light pinch bolt, and they'll do the top mounts in the inner wing, which I'll maybe have a look at that later. But I'm walking way back down to the one where they've welded the hub back onto the rear axle. See how they got on with that. So it's the micro baggers heat 2. I'm going to record this for you. So get this fuel heat for you. There was a good hit there. They got all shook hands at that. It's a good name of the sport. I enjoyed it. That's
It's happened in the past, so please do not sit on top of the safety barrier. Thank you.
I'll wait until they come round actually and get the lap of honour.
I'll tell you, see that one that they were doing?
The engine on that one's probably cracked and the exhaust manifold's off. I think the exhaust manifold was off on that one. So we're going to get a closer look at that in the pitch on the damage report. So, and then the pit's going to be, look, I'm going to go just a fairly quick look because I haven't even seen the junior production yet because I've sacrificed all these races so far for the damage report, but I want to see at least one tonight. So I'm going to quickly have a look at the 69 one to see if my suspicions are right that the exhaust manifold has broken right off it. It certainly sounded like it. Various other things going on in the pits as well. I think this is the one that got the new McPherson strut on it as well. Have a look. I was right, it was a manifold.
So a little. Hard for a welder. Hard for a welder. You get exhaust?
I'll turn that rope from there,
Huh? Aye. I'll never get a snot on being again, mate.
Right, it was a manifold. It was the fork on the exhaust manifold that was burst, as you saw. That's why it sounded pretty amazing actually. It sounded quite awesome, quite powerful. Obviously it's an alarming thing when that happens because it's the exhaust gases are coming straight out the engine, out the exhaust port. It's not even going into the exhaust, it's coming straight out the exhaust port. That's due to the collision. See how we got on with it. I don't want to spend too long here because I want to see that first year in junior production. I haven't seen one yet. So.
Kevin gave you one flag. I reckon if you noticed our 6 teammates are 4 shot.
They were all waving.
I see him looking at his mirror, he's right.
What did you say before you went into that? Daddy, I'm stupid in a second, it's later. I'm very good.
And then the reverse, dude, I don't eat that.
There's a hole.
Ball for the ball.
No, here.
Why'd you put that in for Craig?
Yeah, I told.
Oh, I put blinded.
How much do you pin half an hour? Come on that.
And they got Kevin
Oh,
come
you're
out.
right up in it now.
I asked for
No, you asked me for G. Held it today.
Oh, maybe.
We got to get a lot of back pressure on cylinder if it's at 4.
I seen a flag. It's there, right?
You said you're seeing stars.
I should have stopped. Yeah, it's a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually going to make my way to the pits because I want to see these other formulas that I've missed due to the getting the damage report. I don't want to spend too long in the damage report, but I've got some of the main stuff anyway. I'll get a wee bit of this just before I go into the pits, back at the tracks. Oh, so they fixed the other sides and all snap. Oh, bloody hell. Seems to... Oh no, that's that race started. I'm going to have to get myself there. I'm missing it again.
That one there, the whole package on.
Oh, right. Well, I'm going to get a look at that. I'm going to try and get some of this race because it's on now. I'm going to probably not get to see a single one of these junior productions yet. It's not bangers, but I still want to at least see one. But I've got most of the damage report for that heat. I'll get the next heat as well, the final and the DD and the corresponding damage report. Right, so I'm just going to get myself there now. It's the some of the damage report after heat 2. So I watched that junior productions. The next one's going out, I think, is the stock rods, which I'm going to watch. So in the interim, before the stock rods go out, I'm just going to have a wee quick update on the damage report from that previous heat for the bangers, micro bangers. Just going to make this snappy before the next. Oh, I want to hear that. Oh, that's drew my attention. That's the one with the burst manifold. They've taken it up to get it welded, so that with the burst manifold, I think they're taking it to the welder to weld it shut, maybe to weld something temporarily, because there was flames coming out of it, which is what you'd expect, so you could hear it from here. So you'll get that. I got some of the footage as it was driven. You saw some of the blue flames coming out the exhaust port, because that's the exhaust gases straight out the engine. They're burning hot, obviously. So I think he's drove it up here to the welder or something. Again, I guess that's where it's headed, but these are going out next as stock rods, which I want to see that, so I'm going to hit a wee snappy here. I don't want to miss that either. So he's drove it up to this part of the pits. I'm guessing this is where there's a welder or something, but just to see what they're doing. That'd be nice to see this back out again for the final on the DD. So this one's burst tank. I'm not bothered about the exhaust. So I think they're going to get the thing welded up, gas welder, to weld up the tank for the coolant. So they're not bothered with the exhaust manifold, they're more concerned with the coolant, with that big leak on the tank. So they're using, as opposed to the arc welder, the electric welder, this is an oxy-acetylene gas welder. Again, you'd wear goggles for the sparks and stuff, but the blue flame isn't as bright as the flash arc on the electrical welder. There's two types of welders, like the electrical one and the oxy-acetylene gas one. I think that's what they're going to use to weld that tank post. So it's oxy-acetylene, that's your gas. Oh no, I'm wrong. It's a big welder, it's an electrical one, so I'm wrong. It is actually going to be an arc welder. I think they're going to weld it actually. So I was wrong on that. It's not an oxy-acetylene welder they're using. They're going to use a MIG welder, which is an electrical arc welder. I just, when I saw the tanks, I thought, I didn't get a good look at it, I thought it was oxy-acetylene, but it's not. Electrical MIG welder they're going to use. So again, you don't look at the directly, you don't look at it directly. It's alright to look at it on the screen, but you never look at it directly, because the blue arc is, it could blind you, damage your eyes. So yeah, it's an electrical welder. I don't know what the tank's for, I'm not quite sure, but the gas tank. Tank is actually for the gas for the MIG welder. I thought when I saw them, I didn't get a good look at it, but it's a MIG welder. So I'm going to weld the tank shut. because again they've got to prepare the metal before they weld it. I think as you get to start it up, you'll get to see the flames come at the front. So you saw the blue flames come out the engine, that's just the direct raw exhaust gases coming straight out of the combustion chamber. So as soon as the exhaust valve opens, gases are pushed out, well, expansion anyway, it's compressed. The PSI inside the cylinder is so high, the gases that would naturally escape, but then the piston's coming up as well to push the gases out. So it's just blown straight through the outlet of the engine, so it's red hot, white hot, blue hot flames, petrol mixture. So obviously it should go through the pipe, through the catalytic converter and silencer system, and it comes out the tailpipe through the length of the car. It's cooled down, silenced, filtered as well. But that's as raw as you'll get of exhaust gases coming out of the engine. Well, it's all one of the ports, it's not all of them, but it's all probably number 4 cylinder, I think. But you saw the one that was burst. So. Right, so I'm going to go back to the track site to watch the stock rods. I didn't want to miss the final for the stock rods. So I hope that was quite good actually, the footage of the exhaust gases coming straight out of the exhaust port as out the ruptured manifold, exhaust manifold. So that's as raw as you'll get the exhaust gases. Completely unfiltered out that one. Very loud. It's the pressure wave, as the piston goes up, you think of the expansion in the gases. That's what combustion is, it's expansion in gases. So it throws the piston down, superheated gases are still there, the exhaust valve pops open, the escape piston comes up, throws it out, pushes it out as well. There's also a vacuum scavenging effect from the other inlet valve that's open partially to help assist throw the gases out. It's called scavenging effect. It's gas flow basically, that's what exhaust gas is, gas flow. Yeah, I'm going to go back to the track site to see the stock rods. I'll record the next heat for the final for the micro bangers when they come out, and hopefully a good demolition derby. So that's the third heat, the final heat for the micro bangers tonight, and hopefully a demolition derby at the end of it as well. So I'll record all this heat for you. I'm just making their way up on the track. 69, you can hear it from here, that's on the punctured manifold. Sounds brilliant. It's up there, 69's amongst there. But it's still there, I heard it. Record this whole heat once they get the track ready for it. No, they're just lining them up, yeah, but you can hear it. It's
mess about, by the way. Straight in the back of the 24 car.
This is the Destruction Derby now. It's going to get a collision head on, but they'll see what happens. That's pulled off. Where is he? Not sure what he's doing. There he is.
To be the last two winning cars on the track. And that will bring the red flags in the end of here at Lochgelly Raceway. So hope to see them all back here next week. As always, stuff natural order of 12.
So that was it. I seem to have retained a lot of the cars, didn't do the demolition derby, not very much anyway. A lot of them pulled off in the centre green to keep their cars for further meetings. So, but there was what there was, I recorded what there was, so that's it. We'll get the lap of honour. So that's some just unwind, well, that's some way to do the lap of honour, and then that's the last race for the night. So we'll get the damage report anyway. There was some hits there. There was a big one there that you might have saw when the DD started. That's when it goes red and green. The red traffic lights and green traffic lights at the same time. That means the beginning, the end of the race for the red bit, and then the green's the beginning of the DD simultaneously. The option was there if anybody wanted to take part in the demolition derby. But a lot of them pulled off into the centre. So that's why they're keeping their cars. But that's how it is, and just got to see what happens on the night. So I'll just make my way up to the pits and just see the cars getting loaded up, and damage report as well for that one. So they're pretty much trailered up a lot of the cars. Most of them are away. Well, some of them still here, like, but there's a lot of them gone now. Didn't take part in the last race. But I'll get the damage on what the footage of the cars that were destroyed. Or well, damaged, wasn't really any. spotted. Oh, never noticed that. completely ripped. They'll sheared the hub off of the bottom of the McPherson. It's just completely collapsed in. That's the bottom of the McPherson strip. That's the hub, swivel hub, and it's just snapped right off. That's leaking brake fluid, that anyway. That's brake fluid, hydraulic brake fluid. So we'll get a still picture of that as well. So that's 69, the one that had the burst manifold. It sounded brilliant, the exhaust manifold. Prongs, I think it's number 4 cylinder. So it's been stretchered off with the forklift. So it didn't really, it done a couple of laps and I got a hit. And they tried to get it going again, but it was basically, I think it got caught or held up or stuck or something. It didn't manage to go out, so I don't know. I got a couple of laps in there or something. It just kind of got stuck. And it didn't restart again, so it's having to be lifted off. I was hoping it would have done more laps because I liked the sound of that one, you know. It's just the way it goes. That's it, recovered now anyway, and up by the big crane. I'll lift that up, put it on the lorry. But it's probably mechanical failure rather than collision damage. Still leaking coolant, but I don't think they're bothered too much about that. So there's another one coming off. I'm going to have a look at that. But before I do, that's 69 anyway. It's recovered up here. I had the sounding absolutely brilliant with the burst exhaust manifold. Well, the prong on it anyway. The number 4 cylinder that was blown out. I've got a still picture of that as well. So I think that's the last one that's recovered. It's still near. I'll have a wee look at that, get the damage report on that one. So just, oh yeah, just about tripped. On my way down, so on my way down looking, just having a look over there. But the last one that's recovered is just in front of me now. Just got to watch when they're walking on this pit area. There's lots of, it's easy to trip over all the stones. So this is the one that was recovered there, just a minute ago. It's been pretty much buckled at the rear. It's quite severely buckled. I didn't realise it was as bad. I think this hit happened further out at the other end of the track. I didn't see this happening. The aftermath's pretty bad. Pretty severely smashed, this one. Quite a better. It's a topper, that one. So I managed to get that for you on the damage report. So that was quite a hit, that one. So I think that's all the bangers recovered. And that one over there has just been hoisted onto the flatbed lorry. And I think that's, well, just as a way to say that was all. Here's another one. Come in, that's just pretty much. Before, that's pretty severely smashed, so we'll get a closer look at that when it's put down. I think that'll be going down that way actually. directly onto the back of the van. Saves him having to hoist it up with the winch. You just use the forklift and just literally load it on now while the going's good. Saves him having to use the ramps and the winch. You could just, that's quite impressive. Look at the height of that. So this is quite a sight. You don't always see cars in the sky like this. So it's quite something. I'm going to get this for you as well. Big crane obviously just simply makes light work of it. It's not a sight you see every day, that's for sure. It just lifts it like a toy car. I mean, that crane is hydraulic ram is really powerful. Car will weigh a ton, over a ton maybe, and it just picks it up like the way you would pick up a toy car. It's just the hydraulic advantage with the ram. With the lorry, the engine will be the hydraulic pump, driving the pump. It's got the laws of hydraulics that basically it's like leverage, and that operates the hydraulic ram, which makes light work of dead weights like this. So just the weakest link's obviously the strongest point. The chains, every chain link, the weakest one will be the strongest one. Not the strongest one. It'll be as strong as the weakest link. So all these chain links, you've got to take the weight of that car. So that's it being loaded on now, and that's that one loaded up as well. There's another car being hoisted up in the air as well with the big hoist. That's banger there. So that'll be worth having a look at as well, I think. So this is the Ford Fiesta. I think the other one was, can't remember what that other one was, but oh sorry, this one's a Corsa, Vauxhall Corsa that's been lifted up. A Mark II, or a Mark 1 Corsa. That's what replaced the Vauxhall Nova.
I'm supposed to be getting a 69 Corsa, but it's staying new.
So this is number 69 being lifted up. It's got the leaking coolant and the burst exhaust at the manifold.
Watch your back, man!
Watch yourself, yeah, he's going to better take that trailer into, yeah, because he's going to reverse that in, and then that 69's going on there, so this is just being loaded onto the trailer now. Right, so that's that. I'll pretty much round off the video now. Just going to head home now. That's pretty much everybody doing just that. There's only really a couple of bangers down there, and a few of them over there, but that's pretty much it. So you can see it's empty now. So I hope you enjoyed the video. See what else I put up on my channel, and thanks for watching. Okay, bye for now.